Now, we all know about the successes of Ronnie O'Sullivan as a snooker player, the 7 World Championships, his record-breaking feats on the table as well, the fastest ever 147 break. But what we perhaps don't appreciate is the huge challenges he's had to overcome in his career with his mental health and addiction. He's got a new book out. I met up with him to find out how he's managed all that to rise to the top. Ronnie, it has been a remarkable rise to the top, even more remarkable when you consider the challenges you faced in your career. But it appears now at 47, you're in a better place than you've ever been.
Yeah, if I look back at it, even when I wasn't in a good place, I always felt like, I was going to work my way out of it. Do you know what I mean? So I think as you get older, you realise you don't want to have to keep working your way out of stuff.
Talk to me about your anxiety, the depression, the self-doubt which you've had to deal with. How much has it affected you?
A lot, massively, and still does. It still does, because snooker's obviously all I've ever done. It's like my security blanket in a way. If I'm playing good, I haven't got a care in the world. If I'm playing bad, then everything seems like, life's not great, So I rely on it really to sort of feel good about myself in many ways.
One of the triggers you talk about is your dad being sent to prison when you were just 16 and the impact that had on you and the 7 dark years that followed. What are your memories and recollections of that time?
I struggled, because I just wanted to win on the table, and then I felt like that would have made my dad feel not so bad for what happened to him. Then when my mum went away...
So this was 3 years later, you were 19 now, and both your mum and your dad were in prison.
Yeah, and it was the moment my mum went away that I went off the rails, basically. And once I went off the rails, I didn't come back again until 25, until I went into rehab in 2000 and started to, do a 12-step program, which means I had to stop drinking and taking whatever substances, that are chemically addicted to. Admitting that I was an addict was the biggest thing for me, because then I didn't have to wrestle with it.
Do you think it would have been different for you if you had your parents around, if your dad wasn't in prison?
100%. If my dad was out, there was no way in a million years that I would have even picked up a cigarette. It just wouldn't have happened. I'd have been too worried about how my parents would have felt towards me.
One of the interesting things, in some ways, it's a self-help book. And one of the things you do when preparing for a tournament or practicing, you keep a diary, and you'll have a smiley face emoji if it's been a good day, a sad face emoji if it hasn't been a great day. Is that what you do to try and keep a clear head?
The emojis are kind of based on how did I feel at the end of the tournament, and it doesn't, I could have got beat first round, but there's still a happy face because I've been at the tournament. I enjoy being in the snooker world. I love it. But I've been in the snooker world and I've not wanted to come out my room, I've not wanted to mingle, I've not wanted to, and that is not a nice place to be. So for me to be able to just walk around the venue, be friendly with everyone, enjoy my time there, have a laugh with Jimmy Wyatt, have my mate there, have my runs in the morning, I'm like, that is a blinding.
Talk to me about your running, because I know even at every tournament, even on the day of a big final, you will go out running in the morning, and whether you're at Llandudno or Belfast or at Sheffield, you've got a whole group of runners that you would go out running with.
Yeah, I've got a really good friend of mine, Eamon, who's become like a real close friend of mine, and he knows everyone in the running world. So I say to him, look, Eamon, I'm in Tring, Hertfordshire, do you know someone here? And he's like, give me a day, give me 2 days. Right, here's the number, you call him, and I'll call him, boom, meet up, and then that's it, Tring sorted. Right, I'm in Llandudno, do you know someone there? Yeah, made a phone call, he's going to meet you, here's his number, he runs these times, I've told him what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And so basically I've just created all this friends around the country, everywhere I go. So when I go to a tournament, I'm not going to the tournament thinking, I want to win the tournament. I'm going there thinking, I'm going to see Martin in Llandudno, I'm going to see John in Wales, or I'm going to see Jamie and the 2 Adams in Tring, or I'm going to see Eamon when I go to Belfast. And so the whole thing that I look forward to is just seeing my running mates when I go to tournaments. And it works really well for me.
And you do painting?
2-3 hours in my room can be a long time if you're overthinking. By doing my artwork, I get to stop thinking, and I look at my watch and I think 2 hours has just gone by, I've only got an hour now. Result, because that 2-3 hours, you can end up, I'm not sure about other people, can't speak for everyone else, I can start talking myself out of playing well, or you know, the negative voice can kick in. So, you know, the more I'm better just being able to switch off through an activity.
So when you're going to a major tournament, you're packing your running shoes, your acrylic paints, your waistcoat as well as your cue, and it transpires you can also do one of these as well.
Well, I used to be able to, but I was a kid at that time.
So what got you into this?
My dad brought me home one day and he went, "Oh, there's a Rubik cube," and he reckons that he gave me like a week of doing it. He said, and you was like doing it like straight away, and I was like, "Really?" And he went, "Yeah." So it's sort of like.
So the next World Snooker Final, will you be taking one of those with you as well? To go with your paints.
That's a great distraction.
Is that what you need though? Something to focus your mind.
See that there? That's just got me. I just felt it. I'm already into it. I'm already looking around, and so that's a typical thing of like doing artwork, art therapy, Rubik cube. I got over my fear of flying through playing a game called Flappy Birds. I couldn't step on a plane. I got a train once to Germany. It took me 17 hours to get from door to door when it was like an hour flight. One day I got on a plane and I was so into this game Flappy Birds that I was playing it, and I didn't realise until like an hour into the flight that I was in the air, and I went, "That's the cure." And it was just a game. So I've always been big on games, on things that kind of like engage me. Pac-Man was one of them. Used to love it. Tetris. So really, we're human beings in that. Some people are logical, some people are creative, we all get off on different things. And for me, I'm already thinking, right, I want this Rubik.
You can have it, Ronnie.
It's yours. I'm keeping this.
So there you go. If you see him at the next final with a Rubik's cube, you know it's there to kind of keep him focused and occupy his mind, isn't it? But it's fascinating insight into kind of the things he recognises he needs to do now to keep him in a better place, to be able to perform on the table, which is ultimately what he wants to do, and that has been, let's say, a Rubik's cube, but things to focus his mind. You know, playing Flappy Bird so that he, you know, so he's no longer scared of flying. Running, you know, to occupy his mind. Painting if he's staying in a hotel, you know, at a major tournament. All those things just help to give him what he needs, and that platform then to be able to go and play.
That's incredible discipline, isn't it? Knowing how to protect yourself.
Yeah,
really good.
Especially, you know, everything he's been through, challenges that he's faced as well.
John, that was really interesting. Ronnie's book is called Unbreakable, and it's available now.